I love Facebook ads for a number of reasons because with Facebook ads, you can use these for awareness to get more followers. You can use them to market a current book. You can use them for all sorts of things. So let's take a look here. This is one of my pages that's for books. And this is the back end of a business page. So if you don't have a business page, this is what the back end looks like. If you do, then this should look familiar. And when we're running ads, we can do it as a boosted post. And if you want to get more likes on a page, it is best if you post something like a meme, something that generally calls to readers, and you boost that post to get more awareness. So let me show you what that looks like. I always love when books end up on Jeopardy and things or trivia, and I know them. Let's see. So let's just, it's probably not going to let me boost a post, but I can. Here we go. So this was actually for a giveaway, and I already did boost this one. So I'll look at that one in a minute. It's been a hot minute since I did this. All right, let's do this one. So you're going to click on the boost post. It's going to think for a while. I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to let me. I was still trying to be lazy and do it. All right, I'm moving to another one. A lot of these are shared posts, and so they won't work. Yep, shared post. Here we go. All right, so this one was the original post, so I can do it. So if I were to go on here and I were to boost a post, which yes, does cost money. It's a form of advertising. So if I were to say, I want to get more people to like my Facebook page, automatic is what it will choose for me. Let Facebook choose, they say. We have your best interest in mind. It's lies. It's all lies. Really, Facebook, I don't like the automatic because it's wrong so often. I always change and decide what I want to do with my ad. So I'm going to hit the change button. And this is where we get a couple of questions. Do we want to get more messages? I have to say, more often than not, when doing an automatic, like I let Facebook choose, they set it up to get messages. I don't want people messaging me. Now, if you do, that's different, but you can choose get messages, get more engagement. This is where you're getting more people, and it's targeting people who are likely to interact with your post, to like it, to love it, to laugh at it, to comment. So get more engagement is what I would typically do for this kind of post. There's get more leads. And this is actually where it's going to, like when you click, it's going to send people to a form that they fill out with their information so you can then contact them. So I don't typically use this for authors either. If we were in a different business, if we were trying to collect leads, maybe, like maybe even new shelves could use this to get more leads if we were looking for clients. But for authors, I don't typically use this. Get more website visitors is used all the time. This is where, hey, we want to send people to our Amazon sales page. We're going to get more website visitors. We want to target those people who are likely to click on an ad and go off Facebook. And then get more calls. Anyone who's called the New Shelves number knows that our voicemail says, oh, thank you for calling. You should email us. Not that I never speak on the phone, but in our worlds of consulting, we're often on the phone and can't take a phone call that's not scheduled. So I personally don't use this one. If you want phone calls for some reason, or it was a large company that had a call center, they might like those. So that's what all of these are. I personally do get more engagement or get more website visitors. So Eileen, I would say, depending on what you're doing, if it's just a cover reveal and you just want to get a lot of buzz and people liking and interact with it, I do get more engagement. If you are trying to drive people from Facebook to your Amazon sales page for pre-orders, I do get more website visitors. So, one or the other. For this one, we're going to do get more engagement. No, here is where the AI part comes in. This is kind of the text where it just says Happy Monday after a holiday. And then these are different things where the AI is making suggestions. I can take them, I can leave them, I can say, yeah, I don't like this, and I want to change it to kickstart your week with a fresh cup of coffee and a good book. And then I could add that if I wanted to. And yes, it does allow you to have multiple text options, and it will kind of like A/B test within these ads. Um, so that's one of the options, or you can just say, no, I just want to advertise it as I said it. Thank you very much. Then we've got here, and because we have Advantage plus Creative, this is where it'll deliver different ads like A/B test within the ad for us. Now, this is very important. Do you see here where the button label says send message? Up here where it says send message, they're still trying to make it so people message me. I don't want people to message me. So we're typically going to change this and make it say either no button, I don't need a button, I just have what I have, or we can add a button and make that button say book now, learn more, shop now. So if this is for a pre-order, you might say shop now. I very often will say learn more because learn more sounds less intimidating. Like shop now is like, oh, you're going to go shop. Whereas learn more is like, hey, you can just come to our page and look at it. You don't have to buy it now. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's like some deep psychological thing that I should look at for myself. I don't know, but I do learn more a lot. You can also do shop now. So we're going to do learn more. Yeah, I can just feel the peanut gallery over here thinking about that with me. Um, so I'm going to do learn more. Then we have our website URL. Where do I want to send people? This can be my website. This could be my website. This could be your Amazon sales page. This could be if you're sending people to Amazon, your Amazon attribution link that tracks those sales is what I would be using. Whatever, you can put pretty much any legitimate website URL here. So you put that here and then you choose your audience. You can either do Advantage audience. And again, this is AI. This is where Facebook is using their AI to show your post and spend your money where they think it's best used. Now, the Advantage audience, there are a lot of different thoughts on this for if it's worth it or not and how it works and, all of those things. The AI, in my opinion, takes too long and too much money to learn. If you're starting from scratch with ads and you use the Advantage Plus audience, you need to have $500 to burn through until it's going to learn who your real audience is. I don't know very many people who are like, here's 5 $100 bills, let's burn them. I wouldn't do that. But if you do not have the time, the skill or ability to train the algorithms yourself first, that may be an option, or you call me, I'll take your $500. So that's an option. Anyway, I personally think that it works best when you create an audience, you train the algorithms on that audience, and then consider using the Advantage audience later down the road once you've trained the algorithms in Facebook who your audience is. So you need, in my opinion, to create an audience. So there's all these options. Choose people you choose through targeting. That's creating your own audience. People who like your page, people who like your page and similar to them. These two options are where you're literally targeting your own following. If you have 200 followers, you can only target your 200 followers. If you are doing this, then it's a little bit more broad, but I will say these tend to be expensive and I don't love them. Sometimes when you're targeting and you've got your right audience and that's who's following you, they will automatically see your post anyway. But just know that if you're doing something like people who like your page, you probably will, number one, have a much smaller reach because it's based on how many people you can reach. See how that just took away like the potential reach because it's just my audience. And it's going to cost more. Not my favorite, but you can do it. People you like and people similar to them expands a little bit more, still not my favorite. I personally like to build my own audiences. As you can see, I've got a lot of different audiences that I've saved in my ad dashboard, and I won't get into all of that because that's a whole class on its own. Um, but these are kind of different options that you can do, or you can just say people you choose through targeting. So then I can go in here and I can edit and I can say, hey, these are the people I want to target. Um, there we go. It wasn't letting me edit. So I can, some basics. I can say, hey, while all people are welcome to read my book, my target demographic or people most likely to read it are going to be women ages, I don't know, 40, it's probably like 45 to 65 plus. I can even do locations. I personally always use a location. I most of the time will do United States only, especially if you're directing people to a .com website. If you're going to Amazon.com, United States only, because otherwise you're going to send UK people over to .com and it's going to say not available. It can be confusing and frustrating. If you'd like to run ads, like say ads to your Amazon sales page in different countries, I would recommend separate ads, one for US, one for UK, and using the appropriate link there. Also know that I will always use locations because if you just let Facebook go nuts, you get a ton of clicks, a ton of interest, and almost none of them will be legitimate. They will be from places that don't even speak English sometimes, and they're just clicking on posts, or there's bots and farms and things that do that. So I personally wouldn't do that. And then we need some detailed targeting. We want to tell them like who we want to target. You can say, I want to target novelist. I could say women's fiction, and it comes up. Now, sometimes you're going to search things and it's not going to come up. If, for example, I say, wow, I really love, well, this one will probably come up. So we can see Jodi Picoult, she shows up because she's big enough, and if Facebook has deigned to put her as one of the targets. So people who follow Jodi Picoult would get in there. But if, for example, I say I'd also like, I think Nora Roberts is on here too. I've got to go with people who are newer. If I say Jenny Proctor, who is like a sweet romance author, she doesn't show up. In that case, that's okay. Just try something else. You can target things like Goodreads and all sorts of things. BookBub, Goodreads. So this is where knowing your target audience and knowing who you want to target is very, very helpful. This is where your comps come in. Know who your reader is. We are not playing the whole Christmas song from whatever it is to age 99. That's not how it works. Your target reader is typically going to be more specific than that. They are going to be oftentimes one gender or the other, not always. They're typically going to be within a certain age range. Now, this does not mean this is the only person who can enjoy your book. It means they are the person or that demographic that is most likely to interact with your ad and convert to be a reader or a follower. So build out your list here, save your audience. Once you do that, you can see, yes, that there's estimated daily results. So this is saying that based on, and yes, this is great, based on running my ad for 7 days, which by the way, I have found that ads that run at least 2 weeks work the best. It takes several days for Amazon or Facebook, even when you have targeted like this, it takes several days for Facebook to kind of ramp up and to learn your audience and your ad. 2 weeks is the minimum time I typically run my ads on Facebook. Anything shorter, you don't get enough results, in my opinion. So there's that. And yes, it does matter when you start your ad. You don't want to start your ad when most people are not online. Don't start your ad in the middle of the night. Do not start your ad on a Monday morning or on a Friday afternoon when people are checking out. So try starting your ads on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, preferably midday or in the morning time. Because again, the quicker things pick up, we build those algorithms just like anything. So we don't want this ad kind of sitting there not getting results and Facebook being like, no one likes this ad. where it's going to cost more to train it and get it in front of people. Anyway, they are saying, oh, we suggest that you spend a budget of $147 over 7 days in order to reach on average. And again, they are giving us their approximate reach, and they're saying we'll reach anywhere on daily. It's also important to see daily results. So they're saying we'll reach approximately 2.2 to 6.4 thousand based on the audience I've chosen, which does affect your numbers here. If you have gone too targeted, like you only want someone who is between 49 and 50. They must be a female and they must like Jodi Picoult. Our numbers are going to get smaller. So we want targeted, but we don't want something that's too targeted. I know, be perfect. But so this tells us our estimated reach at this budget amount. Now, most people, again, are not going to be spending that kind of money. So if we're going to do this, we can say, all right, I am going to spend, and also per day. This is total budget, and then reach per day. So know that certain ads, if you're setting them up, not this ad, not a boosted ad, but certain ads and the way you set them up will allow you to set a budget per day, and some allow you to set a budget over the campaign. I want to spend, for example, at least I just want to spend $1 a day. So I'm going to set my budget. Come on, I'm going to set my budget at $7. Now you will see here that it will allow me to do that. You have to spend at least $1 a day. Did you guys notice that when I went down to $6, it won't let me publish because you have to spend at least $1 a day. I usually, when starting with new ads, I recommend $2 a day has kind of been like the magic number of what works well to start getting things moving without breaking the bank. So that's what I typically recommend. But for this example, $7. And now we can see that my estimated daily results are much lower. However, if I am reaching 100 to 300 accounts, this is just an estimation. Now, I will tell you when I'm using memes and things like that, I will very often spend 1 penny, 1 cent per engagement. Well, I'm not very good at math, but even I know that there are 100 cents in a dollar. So I am actually very often reaching much more than that because they want to spend my money. They want to spend my 1 penny a day. Not everyone who sees the ad is going to interact. And I'm only going to be paying when people interact with the ad. It's cost per engagement because that's what I chose. If I was doing an ad that was sending people to a website, it would be cost per click. And those tend to be higher. Those tend to be, usually we try to keep them under 30 cents. The sweet spot is going to be in the 10 to 20 cent range, depending on what type of product you're advertising. But for an engagement, this is just an estimation. And it's a fair amount. And again, for $7, if I reach, let's call it 200, I'm reaching 1,400 1,400 accounts. I can use numbers in a range. That's okay. If I'm targeting the right people and I'm reaching almost 1,500 people so that for $10, I can get that kind of reach, because also what happens is if you have a good ad, if you have a good target, and if you have an image that is intriguing people, this is why I like to use memes to build our audience. Then a lot of people are going to respond to it. What's great about this is then they'll start tagging people. And then not only are the algorithms learning, but then you're starting to get natural reach as well. So you're taking your boosted post, you're reaching the right people who then help you reach even more people without spending more money. That is a brilliant ad when you get that to happen. So yes, pay attention to this, but not so much. It's an estimation. They don't know what your ad creative is. They don't know what your product is. If you are really targeting well, which changes how many people you'll reach, all sorts of things. So just know that it's helpful to look at, but they're guessing. It's like guessing how many jelly beans are in a jar. Yes, some brilliant person is going to tell me that if you do this and this and you calculate this, that you can know. Fantastic. Facebook is not trying that hard. They're like a sugar hyped up little kid making a guess. You know, when they have that big jar of jelly beans, they're like, I think there's 72. That is kind of Facebook deciding how many people you're going to reach. And as you can see, if I go up, if I say I'm going to spend $2 a day, $14 total, really important that you notice if it's total or daily. I've had people set and think they've got a total budget of 14 and it's like a daily amount at 14, makes a big difference in your accounting. And yes, it about doubles it. They're just running some math. So then I decide how I want to run this, where I'm advertising to and how I'm paying, and then I hit publish, and then my ad will go through. So that is a boosted post. I'm going to check my comments here just to see if I have any questions that I can answer before I get off this page. Yeah, so I kind of talked about how reliable that potential post reach is. It's helpful, but it's not be all end all. The other question's on a different topic, which I'll hop on in just a second. So I wanted to show you a boosted post. This is the ads manager. So this was me boosting a post from Facebook, which I'm not going to do because I didn't actually target these things. And if I go off of it, it's just going to say, hey, you're going to lose all your stuff. And I'm going to say, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, so the ads manager is where you can see all your ads. It's where you can manage them more effectively. And so I'm going to show you, this was the one where I did the spicy romance. I targeted the demographic that I thought would do well for this. So if we're looking at this ad and looking at the data here, let me go. This was last month. Yes, so this was from last month. So you can see now my information's here. So we can kind of see that my reach was 1,019 people, which seems kind of low, but I got 92 clicks. So my reach was 1,000 people, but my click-through rate was almost 10%. So because I targeted well, I didn't need 100,000 people. I only needed to reach the right people. So my reach was 1,000. I got 92 clicks. You can see that I paid 13 cents per click. That's a great ad. That's a great cost per click. And then you can see that I only spent $12 to get those 92 clicks. Now, this one in particular was for a book funnel promo, so we needed those clicks to do our part and keep our reputation high. If I were, for example, doing this and I was trying to sell a book, well, then I would hopefully be using an Amazon attribution link and tracking that to see, okay, I got 92 clicks, I spent 13 cents each. How many sales did I make? And then I could calculate ROI and all that kind of stuff. Because depending, how many people are actually buying a book. Typically, it's going to be for a Facebook ad. A good Facebook ad, your conversion rate will often be about 10%. If you're asking them to outright buy, it may be higher if you're doing something like Kindle Unlimited, where they have to download something, not pay for something. But again, that's like a whole nother class, so we won't get into all of that. But we can also view our charts and we can kind of see some information about it. So for example, we have a click-through rate of 8.19. This is fantastic. A lot of people who work in ads will say that if you have over a 2.5 click-through rate, then you are targeting well, that your ad creative and your target market are jiving, and so that you're targeting well for that and using good ad creative if you're over 2.5. We're obviously well over that. You can see I ran this ad for a very short amount of time because that's what my purposes were. Frequency is like, how many times is this being recirculated? Like, are people seeing it more than once? So that's kind of one of the things to kind of see, and that's fine. If it's over 2, then that's where we're kind of double dipping a little bit. So we can see that, and then we can see the demographics of the people that I targeted. So I targeted women between 18 and 65, and you can see, and this can help me target better next time, that the older demographic was clicking more. Now my demographic is actually pretty, like, there are some books, this was spicy romance, so we had some more people in the younger area clicking. But there are some books like historical fiction, almost everyone is in the 45 up camp. Like these these columns would be non-existent. So you can kind of get some demographics and some info on those as well. And if you are connected to Instagram as well as Facebook, you would be able to see where people are getting those ads through Instagram, Threads, etc. I don't know that this account is. I don't remember. And then we can see, of course, more information about what my ad graphic looked like, and all of that kind of stuff for the ad. So you can see here, this one was for a book funnel ad. I did a really simple kind of like meme of a girl holding a book down. She reminds me of Velma from Scooby-Doo. Has nothing to do with anything, but it makes me happy. Anyway, and then I just said, in the top right-hand corner, I just put, I like it spicy. Of course, referring to spicy books. And then we had some quick, just where are my spicy romance lovers at? We've got a whole page of free spicy ebooks available for download now through the end of the month. And then we had the link to book funnel. We connected to the book funnel and we had learn more. You will notice that this ad, while it got 92 clicks, only got 5 engagements because Facebook was targeting the people who are likely to click on a link, not to engage. So while I would call this a very successful ad because I got the clicks I needed, my engagement was very low. Again, it depends on what you're targeting and why. It's really important for that. So there's that. So that is, my friends, on boosted posts anyway, that is a crash course on Facebook ads. And of course, there is a lot more depth in Facebook ads, but hopefully that gives you a little bit more understanding of the what and the why and how things might work or why things might not look like you want them to.